Hey guys, so Travis807 hit us up and he said, hey, at Adam Wild, how about letting at Steve_Dangle do the at Manscaped ad read in the Elmo voice?
Oh my God.
That's right. So
no.
And well, I retweeted with comment and I said, what do you think, guys? Should we let him? And 57 people have responded in the last hour, and about 99% of them said yes.
Where's the script?
No, so the script is literally, it's promo code Dangle, free shipping, 20% off.
Oh, that's what you want me to say?
Yeah, just say the show is brought to you by Manscaped. Use the promo code Dangle.
Oh, I thought...
You ever get tired of getting red hairs in the sink?
No.
Anything else?
First of all, how tall are you that they're in the sink? What is it? Use the promo code Dangle to get 20% off.
And free shipping.
And free shipping.
At
Elmo on Twitter.
Manscaped.com. Okay. Thank you. Let's start the show, Jesse.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wild, and Jesse Blake.
If you notice, I'm drinking out, if you're watching the video portion of this, I'm drinking out of a Jesse Blake mug because given the way that Boston and Tampa went last night, I want to know what's in Jesse Blake's head. Now, if you missed Wednesday's show, Jesse, what was your opinion on who the Leafs were going to play in the first round versus Steve's?
It looked like it was going to be a lock that it'd be Tampa.
And?
There's still 2 games to be played, so we'll see how it plays out.
What happened? What actually happened?
Tampa lost, Boston won, so there's a chance tonight if Tampa doesn't pick up a couple points that the Leafs can
8
face
points.
Boston.
So to be clear, if Tampa wins, they
can lose.
Tampa can lose.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, they can lose if Boston
loses. Yeah.
But if Boston wins, Tampa needs 1 point.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm marking it down as the Bruins winning tonight.
Okay. Yeah, because, so right now we've got Matthews, Tavares, Marner, Campbell all out. I don't know about Nylander yet, but I bet he's going to sit as well.
Let me look.
Who are the Bruins sitting?
They'd probably be on the ice right now. That's a great question.
They haven't said. They have not said.
Here. You look up the Leafs, I'll look up the Bruins.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to Mikey Stevens, 81, who also, Mike Stevens, good friend of the show, was also commenting that for you equipment nerds, Mark Giordano has changed his stick. It is now red.
Okay.
Or is it now blue?
Who are the Bruins sitting?
Who are the Bruins sitting? That is Steve's.
I'm looking. I'm trying to. Okay. Nope. I have their lineup from yesterday. So here, we'll work on that. We'll work on that.
Keefe, this is, by the way, tonight will mark the first time Sheldon Keefe has coached a full 82-game season with the Leafs.
Oh my gosh.
Ever. That's crazy.
And still only just. We forget, man. There were times where it didn't look like we were going to get through this.
A couple months ago, it wasn't that long. Joey Anderson is also going to be recalled from the Marlies this afternoon and is going to play tonight versus the Bruins. I'm going to be there. Steve's going to be there. Leafs are going to go with 7 defensemen. And, you know, I think...
Are they really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care, man.
So
they don't care.
Well, not only they not care, but I think it's going to be interesting because I definitely think that the people that do care will be the people that get a shot. And I think that's important, right? Like, I do think this game is important for one reason and one reason only, which is if we have to go far enough down the depth chart, Sheldon Keefe's going to be looking at this game and going, who can I trust? Who can I plug in for 5 minutes just to give Matthews and Marner a break? Because I'm going to run them out there 23 to 25 minutes a game.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know.
Well, and also, like, based on yesterday's rushes, it looked like Simmons is going to be in the lineup and Clifford is going to be in the lineup. Just go the whole hog and call up Curtis Douglas. What are we doing here?
Oh, maybe they will.
Well, here's a scenario that could happen.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to be there for it. Mm-hmm. Right? So, right now, it's Leafs Lightning.
Yes.
That's what it is right now. What happens if the Islanders are up, say, 4-5-0 on Tampa, heading into the third? Games that I believe start at roughly the same time. The Bruins, one of them is going to be on their phone, and they're going to be like, and they're going to identify that. One of the Leafs is going to be on their phone and go, and they're going to identify that. Mm-hmm. And then both the Leafs and Bruins spend the remainder of the game beating the shit out of each other because they know they have a playoff series against each other in a couple days.
Right. I also want to let you know that Sportsnet just put out a poll. Hey, Maple Leaf fans, which team do you want the Leafs to play in the playoffs?
An asteroid.
Bruins or Lightning? And currently, the Bruins are winning. It's 70%.
I would much rather play the Bruins.
I mean, me too, but like they're both really good
if
teams.
I'm Tampa, I want to lose this game and face Carolina.
And just feast.
Well,
Right.
because the Freddie Anderson's not going to be available for that first round, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Lance is not bad, but like no Freddie. Their defense is great, but I don't know. I don't trust
Freddie's
Florida.
going to get Vezina votes, right? Like it's
Probably.
it's a big difference.
Okay, so here's a question, guys, because I don't think we've focused enough on this. The thing that Jesse said wasn't going to happen has halfway happened. Are we willing to put donuts? Are we willing to donut bet? Because you guys have a definitive side. Both of you have a definitive side. Are you guys willing to put donuts on this?
Damn. I am.
The only thing I think about is if I'm Tampa, I'm throwing the game.
Because you don't want to play the Leafs. Because
there's an easier opponent, and either way, I'm on the road, so it doesn't matter for me. Like I'm not playing for home ice or anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Do I want to play in coldish Toronto or very close to home Carolina?
all three of the Leafs, Bruins, and Lightning could sit players tonight.
Yeah.
All the Leafs Bruins series could be decided by a Leafs team that's sitting 4 guys and a Bruins team that's potentially doing the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the point of playing Patrice Bergeron tonight? What is the point? A guy who has battled injuries and etc. Pasternak the same. The fate of the entire Eastern Conference could be decided by 3 teams who don't care.
No, you take it. No, you. It's almost
Literally.
like the battle for 8th versus Vegas versus Dallas. We're both going to lose, and one of us will get it.
And someone on Twitter, I think it was Clark Aitken, pointing out, what could go wrong? The last time the Leafs needed an Islanders win in the playoff picture,
What happened there?
That's when the New York Islanders were playing the New Jersey Devils.
Oh, the Devils started Clemenson.
And the Leafs needed an Islanders loss of any kind. The Devils tied the game with, I believe it was a John Madden goal, 0.7 seconds left. And I lost my mind. Shootout comes, and it's Scott Clemenson for the Devils versus Wade Dublowitz for the New York
What a
Islanders.
matchup on game 82, baby.
Devils, I can't remember their shootout lineup from that night, but like their best offensive weapons weren't even used. I don't think Patrick Elias shot. And sure enough, Wade Dublowitz
Took it from the Leafs.
took it from the Leafs.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they would have gone on a big run.
Well, no, they would have died. But still,
It's annoying.
I wanted them to make it.
So are we not going to put donuts on this, gentlemen?
Oh, I'm putting donuts.
Jesse, are you going to
No,
put
'cause-
donuts? Will you throw down some
like,
donuts?
I also, when I look at the series, I also would rather have the Leafs play Boston. It's a better matchup for them.
I know,
That's
but
not what we're betting
we're
on.
asking you what you think is going to happen. Are you sticking with the fact that nothing's going to change?
Yeah, what I thought going into this is that they'll face Tampa. Yes, that's what I think is going to happen. But I would rather them face Boston.
Are you going to throw down donuts on what you said last show?
Yeah, you weren't talking about that. You weren't
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about what you would rather. You were talking about
Right.
what
No,
was
but I-
going to
Steve's
happen.
trauma being ridiculous.
Should I place a bet where I'm going to cheer against winning? I guess either way I win.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Yes.
Yes.
So okay,
You're
okay.
hedging your bets.
But like I don't.
Jesse,
that's
you're
not what
walking
I
away
wa-
from your take, Jesse?
Jesse's not
That's not
sure
what
if
I
he's
want.
down with this whole fun thing.
That's not what I want to happen. Oh no! Don't be honest about it.
Is Jesse walking away from his own take?
No, just take. The
Are you
bet.
guys seeing this? I just want to say.
No, I think it's going to wind up. Tampa is going to get points tonight versus the Islanders. Is going to be over, or maybe the Leafs win. I don't know, but I think it'll wind up Toronto Tampa. But I hope it winds up Toronto Boston.
I want to know what stupid thing is going to decide this damn thing.
Do you think it'll be
What's
some
gonna
sort
happen?
of bad penalty, or could it be a missed goal call, or
Something that we're going to analyze like the Zapruder film.
You think so?
Absolutely, 100%.
I'm not. Can I be honest with you guys? I'm different from the both of you. I just don't care. Whatever we play, and I feel like either way they're in tough. So
Nah, but there's one matchup that's better than the other.
And you think
one's the back-to-back Stanley Cup champions who have a goaltender who can stand on his head for 4 games and win a series, and Kucherov and Point and Stamkos, who is breaking records only held by Gretzky and Jari Kurri. The other one's Boston, who's aging.
What tonight.
And is trusting Allmark and Swayman as their goaltender.
Allmark's been pretty good.
Allmark's been
Swayman's
great. Swayman's been great.
too.
Yeah.
I like Jack Campbell.
Unless Tampa breaks popcorn eating records tonight, I'm not afraid of any of those players. I think the Islanders are going to find a way to light up Brian Elliott, and then it'll be up to the Leafs to control their own destiny. And the most traumatic possible way for it to happen is the Leafs have the lead on Boston and the Bruins mount a comeback, winning the game.
Yes.
Heading into the playoffs, securing a berth against a team they have beaten the last 3 times they've played.
The Tampa game also starts 30 minutes after the Leafs game. I think it's a 7:30 start for Tampa and a 7 o'clock Eastern start for the Bruins and Leafs.
I don't know if this means anything to you guys as well for your varying opinions, but the Boston Bruins have won 4 straight games.
Yeah.
And are 6-4-0 in their last 10, but four of those have come in the last.
That's so good.
So they're winning. Like, do you really want a Boston team on a streak, Jesse, going in the playoffs?
Yeah. Give me Boston over Tampa every day. Every day of the week, give me that. Exercise those defense. I'll take second line Eric Holla. You know, if that's where they play, so I don't know.
The best story is there isn't a bad story. Like I was talking to a friend about this. They either get a chance to exercise their demons or a chance to test. Like imagine
the 2-time Stanley Cup champions. It's
like
good.
playing the final boss in the first round if they have to go up against Tampa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like Bowser first castle. And then you have to go up against, like, I don't know, those dudes who throw the pickaxes, who
Right.
I always found more difficult. You know? Those annoying pieces of I hated
They were annoying because they go
hated
back
them.
and forth and fire it, fire
They're
the
like
thing.
a Zubat.
Yes.
And there's always 2 of them.
There is always 2 of them. You're right. Okay. So no donuts. I'm assuming no donuts here.
I'm happy to bet donuts. Look, listen, you want donuts Monday or not? We always split them. It's never like, hey, you get away. These are my winnings.
They should be. If they're your winnings, you should take them and run. In the end, I think my original prediction will be right, and Tampa will get points tonight. Yes, that's what I think is going to happen. But I would rather the other one.
Okay,
Put
so
your donuts where your mouth is.
So are you putting donuts on this, Jesse, or what?
If you want to bet donuts on that, yes, I will do that.
Whoa! We finally got there. Okay.
All right, I just got my friggin' dentist degree. Pulling teeth on
one of these days, we're going to find a bet that's good enough that Steve or Jesse is going to have to bet donuts, and they're going to, when we do our event in Montreal, everybody's going to get a donut.
Oh my God.
One of these, during the playoffs, at some point, we're going to have a full party donuts thing.
I love it.
And one of the 2 of them, or me, I don't know, but probably likely you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going to get into You Can Bet That with David Bassel from Sports Interaction. You can follow them at SAA Sport on Twitter. Now, of course, as always, we ask you, please, if you're going to game responsibly. It's really important. And obviously, underneath the video here, you can see a link right to responsible gaming.
And in the podcast description.
Oh, it's in the podcast description too?
Always.
And when
Jesse
in
Blake.
doubt, like Jesse, who is suffering extreme doubt right now, maybe just don't do it. Maybe just be extra cautious and don't do it. It's fine.
You Can Bet That. David Bastel of Sports Interaction. David, there's, we are at the beginning of the fun season, right? This is where it gets cool. So, this morning, are we allowed to talk Lightning and Leafs? Because that's
of course
not really...
we are.
No, Steve says no.
I cannot believe that the exact scenario that needed to happen is in the middle of happening.
There are 2 games left to play, and both of those can affect how the playoffs go.
Okay. All right.
Here's what I need to know. Forget Leafs Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to know the odds for the Leafs Bruins game tonight.
Okay.
And the Lightning Islanders game.
Okay.
David,
well, let me dig that up right now
That's
quickly. So,
All
By the
I
way,
need to know.
that's with no Tavares now, no Matthews, no Marner.
Tavares either.
Tavares is sitting as well.
And no Campbell.
No Campbell.
So how much
boy.
money is that just sitting?
Oh, it's about
salary.
$40 million in salary. Yeah, Kasha as well. So you want to count him in there too.
yeah.
Sure.
It's looking like he may make a comeback for the playoffs. They're saying that
excellent.
it could be a thing.
Great. Love
So
it.
David, what
right
do we got?
now-
What do we got?
Yeah. Right now, it's Sports Interaction on the money line. Boston Bruins are favorites, of course. 1.74. The Leafs, the underdogs at 2.13. So 2.13.
Okay.
Slight dogs there are the Leafs in that situation. What was the other game, Steve, you wanted to know?
Lightning Islanders.
We really want to
Okay.
Second half back-to-back for the Lightning.
Yeah, the Lightning are favorites, pretty significant favorites too. 1.51. The Islanders check in at a 2.62. So they're expecting a huge Lightning win here by probably 2 or more goals, just based on what this money line figure looks like.
On the second half of a back-to-back.
On the second half of a back-to-back.
What would the Islanders Bruins parlay?
I hate you.
What would that say? Because that's the Steve Dangle has to face the Bruins in the first round parlay.
Okay,
what we
you know
should call
what?
it.
What's
I'll
the
give it to
drama
you.
parlay? Like, oh my God.
I got it.
Go ahead,
Here's
David.
the drama. Here's the drama parlay. So I have a Lightning. Sorry. You said Islanders Bruins money line play, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you do that 2-play parlay, you can get it at a 4, 5, 6. So let's just say we put $10 down because we're all reasonable gamblers here. 45.61 would be the payout on that 2-play parlay.
Steve and Jesse have been
did
arguing.
this. How much would I have to put down to get $67?
That's too much math.
Hey, David, a couple of things we want to hit. You know what? We're going to save the quote-unquote Leafs Lightning season series preview for Monday when you're on. But let's talk about the Grand Salami prop. What is this?
You know what? I should have introduced this to you guys a lot earlier than this, but this is a really fun thing at Sports Interaction. So it's total goals in a night. So right now on the Friday schedule, there are 15 games in the league. So what's the total goal over under? Right now, Sports Interaction has it at 99.5 goals. So is it going to the 100 mark or is it going under? Also, there's a play with the Grand Salami is, does the home team score more than the away team? Now you have to look at the schedules and kind of figure out, okay, here are your 15 home teams. Here's your 15 away teams and kind of go, who do we like and who's going to score more? I actually play it probably once or twice a week just because it's one of those fun things to look at the out-of-town scoreboard and go, 6-4, that's 10 goals. Yes. And then you see a 2-1 and you go, damn it.
Because there's going to be a lot of teams who just don't care tonight. You know?
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, just do not care.
A lot of coasting, a lot of floating.
So for Monday, we'll talk about the Leafs series, whoever it's against, and we're going to cover some NHL trophy races, which we don't have time for today. David Bastel, Sports Interaction, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Okay, so you may not have noticed this, but Sheldon Keefe kind of blew something today.
Yep.
And you want to talk about it because maybe you were at work.
Well, it was yesterday, and he just... I don't know if everyone noticed it or not. I'm trying to look it up right now. But he blew that the Leafs are hosting whoever they play in the first round on Monday. Yeah, it was Mark Masters' tweet from about 24 hours ago. Sheldon Keefe says game 1 for the Leafs is on Monday night. As someone who works for the rights holder, I didn't know he could know that yet. But also, we haven't been in this position very many times in recent memory where the Leafs are the home team.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever they're playing in the first round, they're the host. So
they get to know that.
I guess.
Is that an advantage? I don't know.
I'm almost positive someone pulled him aside and was like, you shouldn't have said that.
Wow.
You shouldn't have said that. And I wouldn't be at all shocked if it was subject to change based on what happens tonight, because all but 2 teams in the NHL are playing tonight, and that will greatly potentially alter the playoff matchups. And the only 2 teams who aren't playing aren't in the playoffs, and for some reason they're playing Sunday, which is allegedly the day before the playoffs begin.
I thought May 2nd was the
That's
day.
a makeup game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That was
the Kraken and Jets. I think.
that was when the
glad they're
Jets
playing that.
had a tornado warning. They canceled the game. Do you remember? It was like It was like 2 months ago or whatever.
Oh wow.
Or I think it was tornado or
maybe
blizzard.
it's
in the winter.
Blizzard.
Blizzard.
It was like 50 centimeters in a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a weather warning, and they moved the game.
That's right.
After the season.
But in Winnipeg, you could get a tornado warning.
Well, Winnipeg is
Pretty
home
crazy.
to the windiest intersection in the country.
Is that right?
Yes, I don't know why I know that.
Okay, I don't either. I think it's going to be, first off, that Kraken Jets game is just going to be, just can't miss television.
It's gonna be Kraken.
I
Mason
can't wait to see.
Appleton Bowl, where Appleton is back with the Jets anyway, so it doesn't matter.
There it is. So if knowing that they start Monday, does that give Does that give them a bit of advantage? Like let's say, because we were talking about the Lightning and the Bruins, right? One of them's going to play Carolina. One of them's going to play the Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Carolina game's on Tuesday. Does that change anything at all? Or is it sort of just it's a schedule and that is what it is?
It is what it is.
Okay.
And that is why, like, tonight's game is kind of important. Like, the Leafs internally have a team they would rather play in the first round. They do. I don't know who that is, but surely they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do they do all day? Well, surely they've
spent some time. Yeah.
If you're the Leafs right now, same for the draft, like, you need to have a list, right? Because going into the fourth round, you're going to have players who you want, but those players may not be there because you're like 100 picks into the round.
Yes.
Surely they're like, all right, if we take on Tampa, here's how we're going to handle it. If we're going to take on Boston, here's how we're going to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're heading into tonight and they have a preferred opponent. How do you handle that? How do you, like, all the players on the ice have a preferred opponent. Like, this isn't your typical, after the deadline, players still play for pride. They play because they want to win. I'm sure there's some players tonight who are just, clearing their minds and they're just like, oh, I want to win the game no matter what. I'm a competitor. But there's going to be guys on both sides tonight going, I'd rather play this team or I'd rather play that team. I think we're gonna. It's gonna be fascinating cinema to follow.
It'd be kind of funny to see, like, if you could give them all truth serum, what would be like? Each player would be different. What do you think the Leafs lean more? Do they lean more former Stanley Cup champions, or do they lean more boogeyman?
I think boogeyman. Like, every players are dirty liars when it comes to their legacy and when it comes to their numbers. And I asked, I don't remember if I ever said his name, but since he's retired and since we've made up now, I'm going to go ahead and say it was Peter Holland.
Okay.
Who grabbed, right before I was going to interview him in Guelph before his draft year, he grabbed the draft rankings from me, like the papers, and he just read them to see where he was. Calvin DeHaan.
Where was he?
Oh, man. He was high.
I know he got drafted like 20th or 21st.
15th.
Oh, 15th? Oh, my
15th.
God. Okay.
He
All right.
And Calvin DeHaan, I was talking to, and he said, I think I'm ranked like 42nd. And I was like, who guesses 42nd? And he was ranked 42nd.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew.
These guys know. So the Leafs know. Listen, if you beat Tampa, you'll have everyone's respect, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
But surely Brad Marchand, who has not had to come up with a new Canucks chirp for 11 years,
yeah,
lets them know every single time he plays them what the score is. And surely they want to shut him the fuck up.
Yeah, surely.
I want to know how many guys are left over from the 2019 series that are currently on the team. Because I would think a lot of that plays into a factor of, hey, we want to avenge that and we remember what they did to us.
Well, I think the two that matter the most do. I mean, ideally you would want Chara from this season playing for Boston as well. The liability sort of that he was.
I can't believe they didn't trade for him, to be honest.
You think they should have? I think the Leafs should have.
The pickup. Oh, I know. I'm surprised no one did. Nobody?
Well, he was pretty bad.
So what? Like, to even do my idea of, fuck it, put him on the left wing, fourth line.
That's true. Okay, what do you got there, Jess?
I got JT, Morgan Riley, William Nylander, Jake Muzzin, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, and that's...
Kerfoot? No, because Kadri. Oh,
that's it.
Wow.
That's the end of the list.
Really?
That is not much. Because it was 2 playoffs ago. Like, you forget,
3.
right? It was
Justin
3.
Hall, if he cracks the lineup.
But he wasn't cracking the lineup. He was professional practice, Justin Hall.
Right.
He was there.
He was there.
He was certainly there.
Yeah.
That was...
wow. That team has changed a lot.
That was Hall Oshigana.
So what about Boston? What do we got on Boston from that year?
Oh, Boston.
Well, the top line right there. Bing, bang, boom.
And now, is Pasternak coming back?
Surely.
Yeah. Pasto will be there game 1.
Neither goalie was there.
Mm-hmm.
McAvoy would have been there. Grzelcyk. DeBrusk was
Yeah, I got
definitely
it.
there.
Oh yeah,
Jeez.
DeBrusk ate the Leafs alive. Like he
both,
ate them up.
late in both series too, 2018 and 19.
Yep.
That's like end of list though.
So it's Bergeron, Pasternak, DeBrusk, and wasn't Charlie Coyle there?
Coyle.
Oh, Charlie.
Because they had just
yeah.
picked him up. I remember thinking, and I think I said this before, remember thinking that was like, oh, that's a nothing trade. That just got a little, because I was watching
Oh,
Boston.
I didn't. I
And-
was like, shit. That's
and
perfect.
Shit. That might have been one of the best pickups that year. That was a
Really
great
strong.
third round pick. Come
really
on.
strong. And Ryan Donato.
I think that was Chuck Fletcher's last year in Minnesota. Maybe that's what did it.
Thanks again, Chuck.
That's what did it. It was the nail in the coffin. It's Charlie
Thanks
Coyle
again.
trade.
So for the Leafs, there's quite a bit of guys, and I would think like Marner, Matthews, John Tavares especially, Morgan Riley care a lot about what happened in 2019.
Riley was there for all three.
Yeah, Riley's
Oh.
been here forever.
He was technically, wasn't he technically in the Leafs organization in 2013 as well?
He was,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Oh,
Riley's
yeah,
been
yeah.
here
2012.
every single
Every
Bruins
time.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
And quietly-
no, he might not have been in the lineup, but he was in the organization. Yeah.
And quietly, Taylor Hall had 61 points this year.
Yeah, but according to Jesse, that's shit. So
Yeah, in comparison to the rest of the league, it's not that great.
It's with scoring up, you're absolutely, it's not fantastic, but maybe it's a different role. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think at this point, he's like,
it is.
I've won the heart, I've scored a bunch of points, and I've played like 3 playoff games. I would like to do more.
he was such a good playoff player in junior, and I believe he did well in the first round. And I'm like, oh man, this is I don't know if you can call it a coming out party because he's already won a Hart Trophy, but I was like, this is when Taylor Hall finally tears the playoffs up, and he didn't really do it last year.
Mm-hmm. Hampus Lindholm, we know, like everybody's hurt at this point, but we know Hampus Lindholm has been struggling with some injury.
Yep.
We know David Pasternak's been struggling with some injury. I want to know what you guys think about these defense pairings, because it looks like at this point, Lindholm, McAvoy, Grzelcyk, Carlo, Forbort, Clifton. Not as formidable, maybe as when that included Torrey Krug and Zdeno Chara, a few years ago, but still pretty good.
Pretty good. McAvoy is
Pretty damn good.
I mean,
McAvoy's
he's
great.
not underrated based on his contract, but I think
No.
he's maybe underrated based on public perception. Like he doesn't need a 6'9" frame to be an asshole. Like he's a battering ram out there, and he can snipe on you on the power play and everything. He's a great player, and the rest of the guys just sort of fill in as really good fits for the Boston Bruins. I wonder about Hampus Lindholm as a fit. But maybe they looked at it and they went, listen, we're tough as shit. We're always going to be tough as shit. We need a guy who can move the puck.
Well, I thought McAvoy was that guy, though.
He's one guy.
One guy.
You need more.
You need more. Okay, they're playing them together.
And Bruce Cassidy's never been somebody who's had like the stars on his back end. He's always been able to make the team play a certain way and find the best out of these defensemen who are just kind of there. You know, we don't look at the names. We don't really stand out. And we're like, oh my God, that's a big name defenseman. But Boston always plays great, solid defense.
That's
How
gonna
very
sound-
New England of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Just like
gonna
the
sound
Pats.
insulting because he had Chara, but like he had washed Chara.
Right.
Chara's been washed for a few years.
Yeah, Cassidy got there in 2018, I
I'm
think.
not sure.
So,
Yeah.
he didn't have primetime Chara, but Boston, we never look at them and say, that's a weak defensive team. No, he
Never.
plays a great system.
Never.
I think I think the thing too is I remember this. You guys, we were there for one of the Boston games, and famously it was a
Game
6-0
two.
Boston win, and we were all there. And Darcy Tucker had to remove himself from the Air Canada sent us down, and Darcy Tucker had to remove himself from the crowd because he was so upset. But I remember in the second intermission, I was getting a beer, and a Boston fan came up to us, and of course we got Leafs jerseys on, and of course like they're giving it to us, but they were actually very respectful and fun. And after about the fourth goal, they were like, "Okay, we'll stop." The one thing the guy said was like, "Listen, no offense to you guys and whatever, you have a good team, but your coach is getting out-coached to hell." And both
That was Babs.
that was Babs, both series. And Bruce Cassidy, like you really see the difference between great coaching and good coaching in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, you look at, those games both went down to the seventh game. Those series both went down to the seventh game. And so many times it could be put on coaches because the teams were pretty evenly matched. Good goaltending, sometimes from Freddie.
Depends.
But if you ask Boston fans, they were hard on Tuukka as well. Great scoring, defense that could show up or completely disappear depending upon the day. but it was the little things that Bruce Cassidy would do, especially when it came to deploying Marchand and Bergeron and Pastrnak in that second series. Oh my God. In a way that allowed them to not only get under the Leafs' skin, but get into their heads. You could see in body language in certain games the way that he, especially when he used home ice advantage against the Matthews line, and then sometimes, those were the Tavares Marner years as well. Remember when they played together and Tavares had 47 goals? The issues that they would have dealing with Pastrnak and Bergeron and Marchand, and how it would eat at their confidence.
You know what's interesting?
Krejci's not here, though. That's good.
He's not. Yes, it is good. They would get a ton of great depth performances up front, too. Again, especially as the series would go deeper. I also read a quote from Sheldon Keefe yesterday that he's thinking about reuniting Tavares with Nylander. Why?
What? Yeah, why?
How? Why?
That didn't work for 65 games, and they had to go away from it.
Forget that it didn't work. What you're doing is working. Why are you changing that?
Willie on the third line, it just adds a whole other different weapon. And to your point, Adam, about the out-coaching thing, Bruce Cassidy's been there since 2016. I got that wrong.
Has he been there that long?
Yeah, both of those series,
really?
I would argue both of those series back-to-back years he out-coached Babcock. Like, that's
I don't
thing.
I think you're 100% on it. I don't think there's any arguing that, Jesse.
Yeah.
You're nailing it.
And this year, hearing that like that, I'm like, no, Keefe, don't do that. I don't want another situation where we see Cassidy outcoach a Leafs coach.
Well, I wonder if they're preparing for Boston because a shutdown. I don't know if a shutdown line makes sense against Tampa because they're like, which line do you key in on? They're all friggin' ridiculous. With Boston, they do sort of have one. Right? I mean, it's not like you let, guys like Coyle and Hall go roughshod on your team, but it definitely makes more sense to key in on guys on that team.
If I were to say anything to add to Jesse's point from earlier, I think the thing that killed the Leafs against the Bruins both times was their rigidity. They would go into the seventh game, Bruce Cassidy would have a completely different game plan, and they would go, I don't care, even though our game plan clearly isn't working, we're just going to stick to it.
Yep.
And I'm so he's flexible. We've seen Keefe be flexible. We've seen him put lines in the blender.
Yep.
Sometimes when you get too flexible, you get loose.
And he had a problem with that. Going back to Willie, putting Willie in the center position in Game 7.
What on earth?
It wasn't Game 7. It was elimination game. Yeah,
5
because there was only
against Columbus.
5-game series.
Yeah,
but yeah, same difference.
That team, I said from the get-go, that team didn't. The Leafs management didn't believe in that team. And
the bubble
right.
team?
Yeah. They didn't believe in
well,
the bubble
after the
team.
Ayers game, they didn't get Zach Bogosian, who they were going to get.
Yeah.
What a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah.
That series was.
I think, though, you know what? I feel bad for that team because I think they started the year with Babs and clear, like you look at the first 20 games versus the first 20 games with Keefe. Two different teams, right? They wasted 20 games. And Steve, I remember the big argument we had back in the studio with the Purolator truck about like, hey, Steve, you can't fire him right now. And you're like, why? We're wasting everybody's time here. This is going to happen.
It's going to happen. And it happened exactly the way I thought it would.
Right. But I think, and I'm bringing that up because it happened for sure. And I wonder if they just, remember when Keefe came in and he was like, I'm just trying to build the guy's confidence up. I'm like, holy shit, these are the Toronto Maple Leafs and they're this not confident? Like, this is bad.
The Keefe timeout became a thing. Like, he must hold the record for timeouts taken by a coach who's winning. Like, he must hold the record.
That was a tough year. It was a tough year, and then we were slammed into COVID. So I give that team a little bit of a break, and they did give us that pretty amazing, comeback in Game 4.
Oh,
they did.
That game was cool. That game was
it was really cool.
That was Natalie and I's first date that night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we watched it at the bar together.
It's just such a shame. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Game 5 was the next day, or was
yes,
Game
it
4
was. Yes, it was. It was no. Game 4 was on Friday.
4.
Game 5 was on Sunday.
I don't know. One of those was a back-to-back, and I was just like, fuck.
Yeah. One series that I think, it has firmed up, and I think that this is going to be a fun one, guys. And I know we'll do a full playoff preview. These teams played like a week ago, and they won each other.
Oh, yeah.
They won it. Calgary, Nashville.
Awesome.
Calgary, Nashville is going to be incredible.
It's not going to be close.
Well,
you don't think so?
UC Saros.
Yeah. A couple days ago it would have been, but Saros
it would have been cool.
Being less than 100%.
Wait, hold on. Did I missed that? He's out?
Yeah. It looks like
yeah. If he's not there, I'm thinking like 6 games, 5 games.
And then last night, the puck went behind Nashville's net. What was it, like up in the air or something? And Dave Riddick went to go get it, and he ran into the goalpost and fell down.
Yeah, I saw that with the thing this morning.
Yeah.
He's okay, though, right?
Yeah, it just looked really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why it's okay to laugh.
The Leafs actually, the Brets are facing the same thing the Leafs are facing going into the postseason with Big Save Dave being your only healthy player. Healthy goalie. That sucks. Oh, my God.
Yeah, poor guy.
Oh.
Poor guy. Honestly, I mean, no, you can't rule out teams that are built for this.
Mm-hmm.
Nashville is built for this. The problem is they're going up against a team that I would call the prototype.
Why would you call them the prototype?
Because Daryl Sutter's behind the bench, and they basically constructed their team to be good in the playoffs. And I think what they accidentally did was they built a good regular season team too.
So if you're John Hines,
yeah,
you got a great team. You got Roman Josi with 95 points.
Wait, I'm John Hines?
You're John Hines in this situation. You've got...
I think he looks like Voldemort.
Duchesne puts in a great year. Forsberg puts in a great year. You don't want to throw this away, but UC Saros is a little hurt, and he had a .918 save percentage all year.
Mm-hmm.
Your choices are Jesse and Steve. Connor Ingram, who played 2 games, went 1-1 with a .302 goals against average and a .906 save. Or Big Save David, 17 games, but started 12 of them. He was 6-3 with 4 overtime losses, a .357 goals against average, and an .886 save percentage.
Connor.
You go Connor Ingram.
100%. And also, this is the first time we've talked about Connor Ingram on the show since when? Does anyone remember?
Oh, I don't know.
The reason you don't remember is because it was one of the remote episodes. None of us remember anything from those episodes. But he was, I believe, part of that match fixing scandal in Sweden. Remember Tier 2 Sweden?
He was?
Yes, he was the goalie.
Man, you got a memory for some of this stuff where I'm like, I don't know how he thinks about these things.
Steve,
how would I win?
Question for you. Why are you starting a goalie who has 2 career starts in the playoffs when you have David Riddick?
Because he might be bad.
Yeah, you know
what is bad.
You know what David is. Yeah, you do know what David is.
That's a little disrespectful. Let him at least prove that he's bad.
How many games do you think there are?
You got
7-game series.
You got one.
So you'd give Big Save
game
Dave
one.
start.
Give him game 1. Calgary's gonna light him up. Hopefully.
Jesse,
I don't know. I don't want Calgary to lose in the first round. I think that'd be very disappointing for their fan base and their season.
And for ours,
Jesse
because Game Over Calgary launched last night with Audie James and Peter Klein.
Jesse would have coached the 86 Habs and lost.
Why?
I don't know. It was Patrick Waugh kid.
Oh yeah, Connor Ingram is Patrick Waugh.
I don't know.
That's what you're saying.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know about this Mika Kiprasov kid. I'm going with Roman Turek. That's you.
Connor Ingram.
You right now.
Connor Ingram is one of the greatest goaltenders of all time. Patrick Waugh.
He might be.
Is your
we don't know. There's only 2 starts. Yeah. Who's to tell?
You got Big Save Dave's numbers up. Get Ingram. Get Ingram.
What?
I got Ingram's numbers.
2 career starts.
What do you got? Yeah.
He's got 2 career starts, 1 win, 1 loss, .302 goals against average, and a .906 save.
What about in the AHL?
I don't have those.
His AHL number is .915.
Oh, that's
save
good.
Percentage in 54 games.
All right.
.270 save percentage.
That's more indicative of the goalie he is than the 2
what
NHL games.
What about his numbers in last year? .899 and an .898.
Oh,
Sweden in the AHL.
I thought we were giving everyone a mulligan.
Okay.
What did I give?
He was.
What did I say?
Oh, I thought we were giving everyone a mulligan.
For what?
Who were you giving
the bubble for COVID?
I gave the Leafs a mulligan for that year.
Did?
Yeah, because
I screw you guys up all the time.
I didn't say that.
I get best takes from both sides, and I try to sift through them.
Well,
what are you mocking me for?
The thing about Jesse and I is people get us confused all the time. Remember, we're the and podcast.
I have 2 dogs named Bindi and Cedric. I host the Virgin Radio Morning Show.
No, I said I give the Leafs a mulligan on the 19 season because of Babs and the COVID thing.
What does that have to do with Connor Ingram's numbers in Sweden?
You tell me, Jesse. You said it. No, he was a very highly touted prospect for a long time. I'm not going to judge him based on one off season last.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're Calgary, you can't, whoever they go with, you can't let that goalie in the series. Because here's the thing with the playoffs.
Correct.
Is if that goalie, whoever it is, if it's Big Save Dave, who does go on runs or has in the past, that's why he has the thing, and Connor Ingram, who had some good AHL numbers. And the thing is that Nashville, you got nothing to fucking lose. You got nothing to lose. You're here. That's great. UC Soros is out. If you lose, your fans are still going to chant, thank you, can we have another? It's great. But Calgary has got to dominate from the get-go. And they have got to both, because what'll happen is, if they dominate game one, the other goalie will go in. So it's Big Save Dave first, let's say. Connor Ingram would be the next game if Big Save Dave gets lit up. But you have to go hard at Connor Ingram again. So you have to go hard at both goalies, because you let either of them in the series, it's a whole different ballgame. Great teams lose all the time because of some fucking goaltender we've never heard of.
I think game one is going to be a war zone. Borietsky, Tanner Jeannot,
Milan Lucic, Matt Tkachuk.
And exactly, right? But I think the longer this series goes, you're going to be able to use Roman Josi as printer paper. I think the Flames are going to zone in on him. Forget the goalie. They're going to go after him, and they're going to flatten him. Flatten him every single time. Because you'd think you'd be avoiding the top defenseman, right? It's going into his corner every time.
Now, they still have Ekholm. He still exists.
He ain't Josi. So
okay.
If I'm Daryl Sutter, puck into Yossi's corner, wham! Puck into Yossi's corner, wham! Every single time.
Lindholm. That's the guy. Send him in after.
Everybody.
Jesse?
Everybody.
Which city is the better Nashville? Calgary or Nashville?
That's a good question.
And does the winner of the city of the series get to keep the rights to Nashville?
You know what? This is the Country Music Bowl.
Oh my God.
We're calling it the Country Music Bowl right
If I'm
here.
Sportsnet, that's the angle I'm angling for this series. That's the narrative.
It's Nashville and Nashville taking on Calgary and Calgary.
Who's the better Nashville? Calgary or Nashville?
Whoa, we're going to find out. That's really funny, man.
I like that.
That's a good one.
The
very
Cowboy
similar.
Boots Bowl.
Mhm.
I like that.
Is the Stampede better than everything that I've never been in the Stampede? You have, Adam. You've lived out in Calgary. Is the Stampede better than everything that Nashville has?
So if you're Calgarian listening to this, or you've lived in Calgary, is the Stampede good, or is it just this thing that it's the gravitational pull of the Stampede is so hard, so heavy that you must go to it? Because the thing is, the Stampede feels good, is fun, and then afterwards feels a little awful, and you're guilty. You feel guilty, at least if you're single. Sometimes if you're not. And it's
kind of like taking a trip to Nashville.
That's right. It's not cheating, it's stampeding is what they say in Calgary.
Jesus!
Yeah. So
Dude,
I'm not kidding. The whole city shuts down.
The way you make the Stampede sound is the way I look at Tough Mudder. I'm proud I did it. I'm never doing it again.
Except next year, you're like, okay, 10 days of stampeding. Let's go.
10 days.
It's 10 days. Now, all the best acts, all the best like parties and chuck wagon races and all the other things that you want to go to, they all happen in the first 5 to 6. Mm-hmm. And if you're like really hardcore and you want to stick around for like the rodeo belts or whatever, they all still happen towards the end of the week. But the best performances, when you get like Snoop Dogg followed up by like
At the
Big
Stampede?
and Rich. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Snoop Dogg was, I think, one of the
why am I
headliners.
surprised he's showing up to anything?
He'll do anything. Yeah, for sure.
Do they have the bachelor party ride along pedal bikes where you drink on the?
They must.
Do they have those in Calgary? Yeah. Do they have those in Calgary?
So no, not like if they do, they don't have them because Stampede is sequestered, right? It's in its own park around the stadium. So you don't have in Nashville. Those people get out of the way of those bachelorette parties on those things. Like there's just this.
They don't have.
It's like
they run
car,
the city.
It's like car, mega bike, car. Everybody's hammered on this, and everybody's drunk on the road in Nashville.
Yes,
all the
except
time.
for the driver, but they're all hammered.
Yeah.
And there's a okay. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, but they're like those big cycles where everybody's pedaling, and then they have a bar in the middle, and there's just a bartender serving them stuff.
They're called pedal taverns.
That's what I said. They're literally
Is that what you called it? Yeah.
No, sorry, Adam said it.
Nashville. Man, Nashville's wild.
You know what I just realized?
What?
The Leafs gave Dave Riddick the opportunity to play his first game as a Leaf against Calgary last year. He lost.
Yeah. There it is. We saw.
What a ridiculous.
And
how is there more than one of those?
I remember Kevin, who was showing us around, who's the best. We went to the 16 finals with him. By the way, that was 6 years ago, gentlemen. How can you believe that?
Look how easy it is to fall off the back of that.
But the thing is that cars totally respect them. Like, oh yeah, no, that's part of the economy here. We need to make sure that in Toronto, be like, get the fuck out of the road.
Yeah.
In Nashville, they're like, oh no, we all have time. No, you guys get drunk, have a good time. So glad you're here in Nashville.
Oh, look, there's a massive one. It's called the honky tonk.
Of course it is. It's big. That's big and blue. Is that a bus? Is that a pedal bus?
They got a whole big bus.
I hear that thing behind me. I'm changing my route.
Now, if you don't know this,
look at the size of that. It's a school bus.
They cut out the middle of.
Some may know this, some may not, but I guess Nashville is the bachelorette party capital of the world.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining a drunk Miss Frizzle. Seatbelts, no one.
You know what you never see
Look at them.
You know what you never see on the honky tonk bus?
What?
A white dress and a jean jacket and a cowboy hat. You never see that.
No, never. And a sash.
That's mean.
And a sash.
You never seen a sash there and pink balloons.
No,
never seen it.
You're crazy.
Never seen it.
It's only you. You're crazy.
Oh man,
crazy.
you got to. So okay, all right. Is there a way without UC Saros that Nashville wins the series? Is there a way?
Yeah.
What's the way?
Connor Ingram
Luck.
stands on his head.
Connor Ingram.
No,
Calder can't.
The real
Connor Ingram.
The real chances.
How do you how'd you pronounce Dave Riddick there? Is it Riddick?
Is Riddick? I say
Ingram?
Riddich. Sorry.
They have a Norris winning defenseman. They have a great system. They have guys who we haven't seen play at this level, play at a certain level all year long.
Big factor.
Mac Duchene. And Calgary, I think this is the biggest factor in the entire series and in the biggest factor in their entire playoff run. They've never been here before. There's a very young team with a first line that is absolutely a first and second line that are absolutely on fire, who have never done this, who are trying to do it for the first time with a lot of pressure, and who knows how they hold up in the playoffs.
Now, Jesse, there's gonna be a lot of people who are like, "Wait a second, Gaudreau's been there, Lindholm's been there."
Not really.
Not really. Not in this position.
Sutter, Lucic.
Your head.
Friggin'
Markstrom.
No, not really.
No.
Gaudreau.
Yeah.
He said Gaudreau.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. That's okay.
Wait,
You can
did
say
you
it
mean
again.
Johnny or Barclay? No, who's the guy that... No, sorry, Blake Coleman.
Blake Coleman.
I get him and
Yeah,
Barclay
Blake
Gaudreau
Coleman.
screwed up
Yeah.
because of Tampa.
Same line.
Sorry, Blake Coleman. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the big players on Calgary in this current iteration. This Calgary team, we've had out of this Calgary team is underperformances. Every single season, we're like, hey, when are they going to put it together? And then they finally put it together. Now we have to see what they do in the playoffs. Also,
it's not the worst point.
their head coach, though.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy who's done everything in life.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
Literally. The dude, like,
That's why I'm not too worried about the point.
doesn't he deliver, what was it, horses or cows? Or have you been listening to the gift that is Daryl Sutter press conference?
Oh, they've been great.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's jacked. What the hell?
Yeah.
He's like wearing a shirt and the shirt is ripping.
Yeah, because he does stuff when he's not coaching hockey. He is like literally like friggin' Samuel L. Jackson with his eye patch has to like come and get him. We need you. And he's just like
Nick Fury.
Yeah, Nick Fury. Thank you. I had Tyson Fury in my head, but I knew that was wrong. And I gave that up. No, Daryl, it's your time. It's time to come back. And like he visits him on his farm and gets him to agree to coach the Calgary Flames again for the 9th time or whatever it is. Second? Is it second? Those are the same. Those are the same. They're the same. He is the coach of the Calgary Flames forever and always. Mm-hmm. And he was there when they went to the final. He's got unfinished business.
I'm not too worried about Calgary.
You know, I've done this before, but I'm going to ask again. Jesse, do you do therapy?
Yes.
Steve, do you do therapy?
Yes.
I also do therapy. And I have to tell you, BetterHelp is an option for you if you're thinking about it. And the thing about BetterHelp that's different and special is that you can kind of choose the avenue by which you receive the therapy that you're looking for. And I think sometimes people are always a little bit intimidated. I can remember before my first therapy session, I had no idea what to expect. And that's why BetterHelp's cool, because you have the opportunity to meet online, like on a video chat, or you can video chat, I say, like you can talk over video, or you can just kind of text each other, essentially.
Going for your first one is the hardest. It's the hardest part, and it's the most important part.
It is. And this is the thing. So it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. You can give it a try online and see if therapy can lower your stress. And this podcast, as we told you, sponsored by BetterHelp. Steve Dangle Podcast listeners get 10% off their free first month at BetterHelp.com/SDP. That's BetterHelp.com/SDP. Steve Dangle Podcast is now sponsored in part by StatHead. Powered by Hockey Reference. StatHead is the easiest to use and most powerful sports research tool on the internet. With a StatHead subscription, you can go inside the Hockey Reference database and answer your questions about hockey stats and history. You don't have to just remember them like Steve Dangle does.
Well, can't all be perfect like me.
You want to know what rookie had the most hat tricks? Who scored the most goals in their entire career? 5-on-5, you can look that up. You can do it all with StatHead, Corsi, Fenwick. It's all there. You can try StatHead for free for 2 months by going to stathead.com and using the promo code STP to sign up for a monthly subscription. That's 2 free months of Hockey StatHead. Yes, Jesse?
I have a StatHead stat.
Oh, okay, go.
Which player scored the most career regular season goals against Martin Brodeur?
The most?
Yeah.
Has to be a divisional rival, right?
You would think so. Most regular season goals against Martin Brodeur.
Quickly, this is a short ad.
That's free.
Simon Gagne!
Yeah, that's right.
19! That stuff you can look up directly on StatHead.
Try StatHead for
That's
free for 2 months by going to stathead.com and using the promo code SDP to sign up for a monthly subscription. 2 free months, Hockey StatHead, or you can try the All Sports plan, which will give you similar tools to exploring baseball, pro football, and basketball reference. Use that promo code SDP. And you're not too worried about that. Okay, so let me ask you this. Because we got a team that still can't score in the Dallas Stars, and I know we're going to do again a preview, but I have to ask about this series because it's crazy. Dallas, Colorado. Literally.
What's Dallas's goal differential?
-10.
Yeah, they're the only negative goal differential team in the playoffs, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're actually the only negative goal differential team for like 10 places if you rank them in the league.
Except for when the Leafs lose by 56.
That's right. Yeah. That happens. Sometimes you go up by 3 and then you lose 56-3.
Is what it is.
So the Avs in Dallas, the thing about Dallas is they can play boring.
And heavy.
Do they have a single shot?
No. Because, dude, like Seguin, skilled, feisty player. He's not healthy. He hasn't played a healthy game all season. Ben, heavy, grinding, punishing player. He hasn't played a healthy game all season. Radulov is a fun little hybrid of the two of them. He hasn't played a healthy game all season long. They got guys. Ottinger's a great goalie, and he's only going to get better. They certainly have guys, but I'm not buying what they're selling. They're not against Colorado.
Their defense is always great because they got
Klingberg, Heiskanen,
Lindell, Hakanpää.
I forgot they had Hakanpää.
It's
Like,
a good
they're not
little
going to go
core,
down easy. Like, I don't think Colorado's going to run them out of the building, but
neither do I. I think it'll be closer than people think, but I'd still select Colorado to win, but I think it'll be a close series.
Yeah. A little bit like Nashville, Carolina last year, where you're like, why is this still going? But
That's a good
How did we
point.
get to game 7?
How are we here?
Yeah.
Was it 7?
I believe so.
It was 7 or 6?
Yeah, 7 or 6.
Okay, now I got a fun question for you guys. In terms of the league, okay, I like looking at goal differential because it does get a little goofy. And the goofiest one is that Arizona, who is in 31st, has a -107. Montreal has a -106. They're 32nd.
Yeah.
Okay. They each have one more game.
Oh, who's going to win?
Who will win the negative goal differential race this year?
Okay, who's got who?
So
Like,
Montreal, Canadiens.
I need to know the last games.
They're playing Florida.
Ooh!
But Florida's going to be resting.
Who's got nothing to play for.
The Arizona Coyotes are playing the Nashville Predators, who also, I believe, don't have anything to play for.
I think Montreal wins tonight.
You know, Montreal wins.
Yeah, because they clinched last place. I think so. They even if they win tonight, they own the last place tiebreaker over the Arizona Coyotes. I think they go out. St. Louis gets them fired up for the last game of the season. It's been such an awful year. They got the #1 overall draft pick. I think they go out and they beat Florida on a nothing game.
And Sam Montembeault beats the team who got rid of him.
Carey Price might start.
Or that. Could be that. Could be, I don't know. I went with the storyline, but that would have been
So you're going with who wins? I'm making it into a graphic. We're putting it on Instagram. Go.
I think both teams win, and Montreal wins the negative goal differential.
So they'll finish with worse goal differential. Who finishes last?
Oh, wait.
That's who wins.
Arizona wins.
Arizona wins the goal differential.
They're both going to win their games. Arizona wins the goal differential bowl by being worse.
Who do the Coyotes play?
The Coyotes play Nashville, and they're currently 107 under par.
Yeah, I agree with Steve.
Okay.
And how that's going.
I'm going to go with Montreal. And the reason I'm going to go with Montreal is because I feel like Nashville's literally, because of UC Saros, they're going to sit everybody. They're going to sit everybody.
Yossi should not play. This is...
Does Connor Ingram start or Dave Rittich?
Oh. That's a... Oh, it's got... Oh, man. You would think...
Rittich, right?
Ingram?
No, because Rittich played last night.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
it's Ingram. I mean, they're not really in a place where, okay, let's rest the guy who's played 2 games.
Ingram, here we go.
Like, that's a tough
Listen,
one, man.
guys, we don't want to overstretch him going into the playoffs.
No.
That's too much.
Is that a long season of 2 games?
man.
And for anyone who's upset by any of the takes that we've had about your team, just know that there are thousands of clips out there of us being wrong.
Yeah, it's all
So-
good.
Oh my God! If we were afraid to be wrong, we wouldn't have a podcast.
No, exactly.
Well, and that's so funny because that's usually the reason when people get upset that I get is, how do you have a podcast?
To be wrong.
I simply made one.
Oh, man. Well, we'll have to duck out in place of all the undefeated ones.
Oh, you were wrong about a sports thing where it's entirely unpredictable and anything can happen.
That's what's fun. Isn't I know it's fun. Okay, being right's cool, right? It is, and I love to dunk. I love to highlight I was right across in the air. But I do think it's kind of fun when you are wrong because you're like, because I love this because I know if it's a really bad one, like if it's a bad take, I come into the show and I'm like, I'm gonna get lit up and it's gonna be funny.
Those days are fun.
They are fun. It's fun. It's fun.
It's like you ever wake up with a hangover, but you go, fuck. I haven't done that in a very long time, but you're like, oh, well, I had a good time. I had a good time.
I do want to take a second in this show to just shout out the launches of Game Over Toronto and Game Over Calgary. So we had Game Over Calgary with Audie James and Peter Klein yesterday. So if you're a Flames fan, just so you know how this works, live show after every game on the YouTube channel. Then it is available to watch on YouTube later if you can't make it. But we encourage you to be there because obviously you can write in questions and join the chat, and the chat's great. And the chat's moderated, by the way. Our mods do such an amazing job with that sort of stuff. So, the great thing is about our chat is it's actually productive, and you read it and you're like, oh, okay. So there's some real hockey stuff going back and forth here, which is great. The other thing is we got Game Over Toronto. And I guess we can't really talk about who the other host of Game Over Toronto. Can we?
Because, this episode will come out like half an hour before that announcement goes live.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So
it'll be the same time.
If you're on Leafs Twitter, you definitely know her name is Rahef Issa, and we're so excited to bring Rahef on as well. So here a lot of people were asking.
We didn't talk about Harnish and Armand.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to in a second.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
But we haven't. When?
So Harnish and Armand too are Game Over Toronto picks as well. People were like, wait a second, there's multiple hosts here. Why are you doing this? Well, the reality is everybody that does this also has another job. And we're figuring if we're going to do this 82 times next year, it's very rare that you're going to find Andrew Berkshires out there who will make the time and can make the time and all the other things that need to go into that. So why not have some team shows?
Well, and also Berkshire's had to rely on Julian for a couple shows.
Absolutely.
Well,
He's had to do... we all rely on Julian.
Yes,
honestly,
who doesn't?
Harnish Patel and Armand Panthaki are such great guys. When we did the interview with them, they applied together as a show. And we hadn't seen that. And we're like, okay, let's give this a shot. We checked out their podcast. They do a Leafs and a Raptors one, I think Mondays and Thursdays or Sundays and Thursdays, like we used to. And there's just there's like a magic between the two of them. They're good friends. They're from Mississauga and work in the Hamilton area. I know that I believe that there's a connection between our own Robert Malloy and Harnish Patel, because I think Harnish is a part of the robotics community in Southern Ontario. Like, I don't know if it's the fighting robots, like the ones you used to see on TV, but they are And I think Robert's involved as well. Excuse me, Robert
is low key competing with Julian for most jobs.
I don't know how I don't know how it is. And Armand, obviously, just like they've been longtime friends. So it was really cool to see that. It was really cool to see Peter and Audie yesterday. Obviously, we had some tech issues and stuff like that, but that's why we start before the playoffs.
It's going to happen.
These
we
guys
have tech issues on watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. Like it happens.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. You have.
Yeah.
You have. It just does. And I think what's cool about Peter and Audie is they're going to bring like a uniquely Calgary Flames perspective to this, right? Like they are really well known within Flames Twitter community. They've got great setup. They got great insights. And like when we interviewed Audie, he took a break from his job and then went into his car. Do you remember that? And did like a FaceTime. He's like, oh yeah, I'm just on a 15-minute break in my car. And then I think our interview went 20 minutes. He's like, I got to get back to work. And we're like, okay, yeah, go.
Oh, sorry.
And then Rahaf is brilliant and funny and fun and can't wait for her to host her first show tonight. So definitely jump on and give her a shout out. And essentially, Jesse, I think the way it's going to work is in Toronto, they're going to trade off.
Yeah, we're going to once the playoff schedule is out, because that's been holding us up on finalizing how everybody's going to host all the games. Once that's settled, we're going to figure out like who's going to take which games. But yeah, they're going to trade off and have different hosts. And tonight, Rahaf's going to be joined by Omar.
Hey!
Tic-Tac-Toe Omar.
Hey! Amazing. By the way, Tic-Tac-Toe Omar had the most social media post about the Leafs today I've ever heard. He's like, isn't it hilarious that most people who work for the NHL teams, basically, or like the Leafs, I guess, their entire strategy for the first round, social media wise, is based on tonight. Like he's like, they had to do basically double. They have to do a Boston version of things and a Tampa Bay version of things. And he's like, literally, it's on a bunch of guys on the Leafs to decide who it's going to be, really, who don't play for the Leafs regularly.
I got a little glimpse of this when I started at Sportsnet for the 2015 playoffs, but there's essentially going to be one person just going, running around with their head cut off to try to put the schedule together and get it out as soon as the games are done.
I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but in like 2009, there started to be social media jobs out there for companies. And I remember reading a top 10 list of jobs that wouldn't exist in 5 years. And one of them was social media coordinator. And the author said that we would have social media figured out in 5 years. We'd know all the platforms, so there'd be no need because everybody would know how to use it. And here we are, like 15 years later.
They got that wrong.
Everyone's going to know how to fix their car.
They all have
Everyone's
one.
Gonna know
they all have one. They know how to fix it.
Adam, you also mentioned this off air, I think, but you wanted to thank everybody who applied.
Yes. Yeah. I think so. I want to get back to everybody via email, so I'm going to try to do that as well. But give me some time.
I don't think you got the time for that. We got a lot of people.
We got a lot.
We got a lot, and I just want you to know that we legitimately went through every single one. So it was really cool to see. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to everybody who did apply, who can make the time. And remember, we are rolling out more markets next year. We just haven't figured out which ones they're going to be, but I'm sure you have a pretty good idea. So if you are in one of the markets that was not included this time, that's okay. We're going to have more in the future. And remember, it's going to be probably more than one person that gets it because it's going to be rare to find somebody who can do all 82 games plus playoffs. So we're really looking forward to where Game Over goes. Thank you for such a great reception to both Audie and Peter, and then Harnesh and Armand. And obviously, we look forward to Rahaf's first show today. It's going to be very, very cool. Very excited about the network and where it's all going. And this is exactly what we hoped, right? It was sort of the reason that we're doing this, full disclosure, is that the jobs that I used to be able to get, that Jesse used to be able to get, Steve used to be able to get. Steve, you started in like part-time highlights. Jesse, you started as an intern in a program that can't exist anymore because it's quite literally illegal.
I started interning too.
I started interning as well. We were all three of us were unpaid interns.
I think you could still have university interns
for like a month.
Right.
But you can't do it for like 6 months. Like Jesse, you worked a long time before they hired you.
Oh yeah, for free, yeah. I worked like after I was graduated, which at that point it was illegal. Yeah, because I wasn't doing
Was that illegal back then though?
Yeah, if you're not doing it for course credits, I think it was just turned illegal.
Wow.
Yeah, if I'm familiar.
I interned for 10 months. 10 months for free.
Oh, dude.
And that
2 years.
Yeah, I'm happy that I had that for sure. But I also think that, I don't look at this as an internship. This is a job. And the thing is that as media cuts back, and it's happening everywhere, it's happening in the States, it's happening in Canada, the jobs that used to be able to get you in the door where you could come on and, try it out, like my first job in Barrie where I got, I think, $7 an hour, which was awesome. I was like, oh my God, I get to be on the radio for 6 hours every day.
I was about to say, that's more than I thought you made.
It was amazing.
For that show. No offense.
Well, it was definitely more than the quality of the show because I sucked.
Oh, it had nothing to do with you. It's had everything to do with it being overnight in Barrie.
Well, those jobs don't exist anymore. And so we want that opportunity for other people as well. That's why we're doing Game Over. Like, people were like, why are you even bothering to do Game Over Toronto? We have Steve's LFRs.
I don't think that makes any sense.
They're two different things. And I want you to try them out because here's the thing. Even if you can't watch Game Over, you can listen the next morning. It's all going to be up on audio and Spotify, so you can watch, you can listen like every other show that we do. You're going to be able to see it on video. You're going to be able to listen to it. And it's going to be a great recap. And it introduces you to more people that have real talent and are really exciting and we're really excited about. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Every interview that we did with Audie, Peter, Rahef, Harnish Sharman, we were just like, oh, I love you. This is going to be amazing. What a great fit. And thank you to everybody who applied.
We might be reaching out next year.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of them, it wasn't even like, oh, this is bad.
It's just here's what we have right now.
Here's what we have right now. There were, better fits. Some of you were, we got some really young applicants as well. And
it's awesome.
Some people who I was like, all right, I don't know if this is going to work, but Jesus, the editing's amazing. And just so many talented people out there.
It's great. And we're going to keep working on that. Now, Jesse, we do have to do a little special shout out to Jesse, who troubleshoots, launches, teaches, does all the things behind the scenes.
Everything
behind the scenes. And of course, Andrew, who called me last June with the idea. And he was like, I feel like we need to do something after the games. Like, we've missed an opportunity with the Habs, haven't we? That's what he said.
Yeah.
And that's where this all came from. And so it's been...
Well, they made the Cup final this year, and I figured we could capitalize on that.
By having them...
Yeah,
they won.
Totally.
If all things go the way they should win the Connor Bedard Cup, and things will be fine.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
I don't...
Maybe they'll even win the differential cup. We'll see.
If they can get Shane right, I think that would be Berkshire's Stanley Cup.
Yes.
Just so he doesn't have to go through this.
And I love that he's no longer pretending not to be a Habs fan anymore. I love it.
He's not?
No. Oh, he's now a Habs fan. Yeah, he said he wasn't.
We'll see about that. We'll see about
Jesse, can we do a little bit of a longer press conference here?
Yes, we can.
Should I read what it says?
Okay.
Should I read what it says?
I'm worried.
Balls.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath, and I noticed I have beautiful balls, thanks to Manscaped. That's what the script says.
You have to do it to song.
Do you take baths?
I don't take baths. I never do.
However, like most 34-year-old men.
However, I did use my Manscaped on my chest this weekend, and it brought it down considerably. Believe it or not, that's less. That's less than I normally have. If you're watching the video, you'll see.
What about everybody listening?
Your skin, your hair, your armpits. You'll just
describe
guess.
Your hair.
It's
describe how coarse it is.
So it's coarse, and it's like a forest. But Manscaped trims right through it.
Steel wool chest.
Use the promo code DANGLE. 20% off and free shipping with the code. And basically, it's good for everything. Not only
your chest is more than 20% off right now.
You're right. It's like an 80% off deal right here. And you know what? It's kind of cool too. When you trim your chest down, you can feel it like a little bit more, and it's like, ooh, I can feel my. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a bit tingly on your
really,
chest.
Go on.
I like it.
Word? Yeah.
All I'm saying is that
move on.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code DANGLE at manscaped.com. That's 20% off, free shipping, promo code DANGLE at manscaped.com. It's time to get wet and clean on your chest and balls with Manscaped Shower Routine.
Shave around your nipples.
Have we told you about Athletic Greens? If you're looking for better gut health, more energy, stronger immune system, really easy and natural way to do it, and that is Athletic Greens. And I'm sure you'll agree, not all of us are a huge fan of taking pills or vitamins in the morning. Do you guys take your pills and vitamins every morning?
When I remember.
Which is when? How many times?
Seldom.
Jesse, do you take your pills and vitamins?
No, I use Athletic Greens.
There it is.
Oh.
Athletic Greens.
Well, I got to get on board.
It'll help you get the extra vitamins that you actually need, and some of the stuff that just isn't in your cabinet and not easy to find. And by the way, it tastes good. It goes with any diet: keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, whatever it is you are. And there is less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemical or artificial anything. and it still tastes good. That's the key, right? Everybody wants to know, does it actually taste good, or does it taste like something that cleans my toilet? It tastes good, okay? So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with a convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into flu and cold season, because here we are back in flu and cold season.
Perennial.
Isn't that great?
Heading into life.
Just go to athleticgreens.com. We will give you 1 free year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. athleticgreens.com/SDP. That's athleticgreens.com/SDP. Take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Sports betting. It's on everyone's mind right now.
Yeah.
Your mind. It's on top of Jesse's mind.
Right on the top of the head.
And Sports Interaction is Canada's sportsbook. Before the game starts, live and play, or you could guess on how your favorite team will perform. Canada plays at SIA. Doing it right since 1997. With the most competitive odds, Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDP. That is sportsinteraction.com/SDP. 19 plus. Please play responsibly.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
I have sitting in front of me a Google Doc that should be titled "How Wrong Were Adam Wilde, Steve Dangle, and Jesse Blake?"
All right.
It is our season predictions. So we recorded like 10-minute previews of every single NHL team leading into this season.
Oh, God.
And we placed them all in the standings. We predicted where they were going to finish, that just 1 through 32 in every division. We picked the playoff teams, all that kind of fun stuff. And thanks to Red Shark Pack, who has been keeping track of everything.
Thank you for
throughout
that.
the entire season.
That's very nice of you. Thank you.
Now, this may change slightly because we've come down to the last day of the regular season. Kind of. There's still a game on Sunday. But so some of these standings may change. But do you guys want to do it now? Take a look at how we've done? Or do we wait till Monday?
Yeah.
No, I think we do it now.
Yeah?
Because I don't think much is going to change in the standings. And then Monday, we're going to do some predictions for awards and things like that.
Also, I'm okay with being off by a point or two.
Okay.
With the Islanders, I think I was off by more.
Oh, I'm going to die.
So the pointer two may come into play with some of like who was most right. So if things do change, we'll bring it up briefly.
Who gives a shit about us being right?
We'll bring it up briefly on Monday.
Who listening right now is cheering for any of us to be right in any of these?
No, it's way more fun if we suck.
Come on, Steve. You can do it, Steve. No one. Not a one of you. Admit it.
Let's start off with Steve Dangle. Your Atlantic Division picks. You had Florida, Tampa, Toronto, Boston, Montreal, Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo.
Do you want me looking at this?
Yeah. Take a look. So this is
So one more time on the division.
So Steve had in the Atlantic, Florida, Tampa, Toronto, Boston.
That's pretty good.
Montreal, Detroit, Ottawa, Buffalo.
You did real, Steve. That's pretty good, man.
I wasn't buying what the Sens were selling.
And you shouldn't have.
Did the Sabres finish ahead of Ottawa?
They did. 2 points.
Damn. So, wow.
So,
I also thought Buffalo was going to be even worse.
Your average deviation from the current standings is 1.
That's really good.
Damn.
Is how Red Shark Pack decided to calculate it.
That's cool.
So your total deviation from the division is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 deviations off. Damn.
That's not bad. Under 10? Incredible.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
You should be very happy.
Adam Wilde?
Fuck.
Uh-oh.
It's a little more numbers.
All right.
Adam had Tampa, Florida, Boston, Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, Detroit, Buffalo.
Okay, so at least I got the playoff teams right.
Bad.
Cool.
You did.
What's my average?
Your average deviation is 1.75.
Okay.
And your total deviation would be 2, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
I can live with it.
You and I both got screwed on Montreal and Buffalo. So.
And really, who was picking Montreal to we both picked Montreal not to make the playoffs.
Or having Buffalo anywhere higher than second last.
Yeah.
So that's
You know what?
Steve.
I'll take it.
That's
I'll take it.
Adams.
I never expect these to go very well.
This is me now. I had Toronto, Boston, Tampa, Florida. We all got all 4 playoff teams in the Atlantic. I guess that was easy going in because we're not very smart and we got it. So, and then I had in 6 through 9, Montreal, Ottawa, Detroit, Buffalo.
All 3 of us got screwed on Montreal and Buffalo.
Yeah.
So what was your average? Just give us the average deviation.
The average deviation, 1.75.
Okay, so you and I were basically similar.
Yes.
Okay.
Very similar.
All right. I'm okay with it. All right. Pretty good.
Oh, my Metro.
Adam.
If my Metro is going to be a mess.
For Adam's division picks, you did not get a single pick in the right slot.
All right.
Not one
For the Metro division or just
for
in...
the Atlantic. Not one of those teams was in the right position.
Okay. Wow.
Just so we're clear.
You know.
Steve, your Metro picks.
Oh, shit.
Islanders.
Oh, shit.
Hurricanes. Caps. Rangers. Penguins. Flyers. Devils. Blue Jackets.
I had the Penguins missing the playoffs.
Adam, your Metro picks. Caps. Islanders. Penguins. Hurricanes. Rangers. Flyers. Devils. Blue Jackets.
So the fucking... Okay, the Islanders screwed us.
Well, so this is the problem with the deviation thing is it could change, right? But
Yeah.
Yes,
it's
there
not
can
going to
be.
change by much.
It's not going to change by
And by the way, the standings are Carolina, New York, Pittsburgh, Washington, Islanders, Columbus, New Jersey, Philadelphia.
My Metro picks: Caps, Islanders, Hurricanes, Penguins, Rangers, Flyers, Devils, Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
We all sucked.
We were off.
No,
in that
okay.
Metro.
We should have put a little bit more in the fact that the Islanders weren't going to play at home for a while. Like they
Yes,
seemed
100%.
like, honestly, they seemed like the unsinkable ship, though. You saw them over the last 2 years in COVID. It's like, oh man, if COVID didn't throw them off, why would not playing at home bother them?
We were wrong about the Islanders because we thought too much of them.
Right, but they'll be back next year. Look at the back half of their season. They've been great.
I think they will be.
So here's where we get even more worse, bad, terrible picks.
Ooh.
Colorado, Minnesota, Winnipeg, Dallas. Those were Steve's playoff teams.
Sorry, one more time?
Colorado, Minnesota, Winnipeg, Dallas.
Okay.
Top
3 of 5.
Where did Minnesota finish?
Second.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So it's Colorado, Minnesota, St. Louis, Nashville, Dallas, Winnipeg, Chicago, Arizona.
Oh, you
did good.
3 out of 4.
If you see a 0, it means I nailed it.
Actually,
Yeah,
3 out of
yeah.
5 because remember, there's 5 teams from that division made it.
Right. That's not bad. And then Blackhawks, Blues, Preds, Coyotes. you
Why
had
did
out of
I
the
hate
playoffs.
on the Blues so bad?
I think we all did.
We did.
Adam, you had Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas, Winnipeg,
Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas. Oh fuck! Why did? Yeah.
and then Chicago, St. Louis, Nashville, Arizona. I did not do well. here.
Remember, the Blues were on the verge of getting rid of Vladimir Tarasenko, and if Binnington stops being good, who do they got?
Well,
Our
that's
answer
what
at
we
the time
thought.
was no one.
That's what we thought.
And the answer is Viliuso. Whoops.
and still have Binner too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I performed the worst in these next 2 divisions.
Oh.
For the Central, I had Colorado, Dallas, Winnipeg, Chicago. Ugh. And then out of the playoffs, I had Minnesota, St. Louis. Minnesota, St. Louis, Nashville, Arizona as my bottom 4.
Oh, Jesse.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a tough
that's
one.
not
Okay,
good.
I understood. Again, you got to remember, Nashville wasn't great the last couple of years either.
No.
And-
And they looked like they were on their way down.
Yeah.
But my question, and rightfully so, man. Like Johansson's had a rebound year. Duchesne's had a career year. Who could have seen that?
Tanner
what
Jeannot
I
is
want to
real
know,
good.
and this is where it's going to be weird to make predictions next season. Is Winnipeg actually bad, or did they just have a bad year? Because they still have Connor Hellebuck. They still have big scoring up front. Their defense needs work. But like on paper, are they that different from the Dallas Stars? Are they that are they that not capable? And they played like it this year. Dallas, Winnipeg sucked. but certain times.
Winnipeg's got some big decisions to make because you got to ask yourself if some of the players in your core have taken you as far as they can.
Final division.
All right, so the final division, let me go through the standings. Calgary 1, Edmonton 2, LA 3, Vegas 4, Vancouver 5, San Jose 6, Anaheim 7th, Seattle 8.
Steve, in the Pacific, you had Vegas,
Ooh.
Edmonton, LA, Vancouver.
LA at 3rd was a bold pick,
And you did
really
it.
good.
Nailed it.
and I nailed it.
That's their exact spot, yeah. And then you had Calgary, Seattle, San Jose, Anaheim as your bottom four.
I think Calgary, I was 4 spots off on Calgary. Have I been more wrong about any team?
Well,
No.
I don't
But-
think so.
Calgary, to be fair, before the season, context, people, is that Calgary had really underperformed.
Yeah, now
They always had the talent.
I've been their biggest cheerleader for at least 4 months. Like,
Adam, you
They're
had
great.
Vegas, Edmonton, Seattle,
Oh,
Calgary. I think that is the biggest deviation that anybody's had. You were 5 slots off on
yeah,
Seattle.
that's bad.
And then out of the playoffs, in the bottom 4, you had LA, Vancouver, San Jose, Anaheim. The bottom 3 actually is not bad.
Yeah,
Like
you
your
did-
Vancouver, San Jose,
You know what?
Anaheim.
You know why I bet big on Seattle was the goaltending.
yeah.
Mhm.
I bet big on Seattle's goaltending. I actually thought that they had strength. I still thought they fucked up that draft, but I didn't think that. You know, you had Gio back there, you had Alexiak, you had a few of these other guys that were good
Larson.
players. Larson, big signings, right?
Yeah.
I thought that they weren't going to score a whole bunch, but I did think that they were going to be able to stop people, and they couldn't stop a puck.
Grubauer, Drieger, and the guy they got from Ottawa, I forget his name. He won his first game against the Leafs.
Remember,
they were really
and
good.
I don't even know when Vanacek was traded back to Washington.
It was very shortly after.
Okay, so
The summer.
we knew that. Okay.
I tied your biggest deviation because I had Calgary in 6th place, which is 5 off. So in my top 4, I had Vegas, Edmonton, Vancouver, Seattle. And then my bottom 4 were LA, Calgary, San Jose, Anaheim. This is just an awful division for me. I think I performed the worst because I have the most deviations.
Okay.
You were generally good, but your misses were quite bad.
Atrocious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that when we did the season preview episode is we asked Julian and Chris as well, and Julian did it, and then Chris just gave us the division winners, and then and then we put it up as a graphic, and he's like, somebody didn't understand the homework assignment.
It was very funny.
Very, very funny.
Andrew nailed the Atlantic division.
He got it.
Oh my God.
So his top 4 in the Atlantic are Florida, Tampa, Boston. Or Florida, Toronto, Tampa, Boston.
He nailed
So-
the exact order.
Whoa.
Yeah, the Atlantic, he nailed the top 4 playoff teams. And then he also had the Islanders in first.
Oof.
We all were high on the
The
Islanders.
Flyers
the
in
year.
3rd, Berkshire.
That's a bad pick.
Oof.
Any other really good ones? He also was very high on Seattle, 3rd in the Pacific.
Okay,
That
I don't
did
feel so
not-
bad now.
All of us were high on Seattle. Even I'm going through Julian's picks now. He was high on Seattle. Had Calgary out of the playoffs. Did any of us pick Calgary as a playoff team?
Did CJ?
No, they were terrible.
CJ didn't give us
No.
full picks.
No. No. 4th place. Adam had Calgary in 4th. You could just lie and say that was
I'm
your
taking it.
wild card.
I need the W. Okay, give me
Take
the
it.
W.
Dude, well, and look at who's been responsible for their success this season. Gaudreau, who was already there.
Yeah.
Lindholm, who was already there.
Yeah.
Kachuk, who was already there. Markstrom, who was already there. Like, almost, it's their core.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone who's been responsible, the same coach. Like, they don't even, you can't even, like, point at, like, how the Oilers are night and day since they got Jay Woodcroft. It's just Calgary sort of, okay, what if we decided to not be ass?
What if we simply weren't shitty?
We're okay. Well, I'll do a step better. Why don't we be first? Oh, okay, let's do that.
Dave Tippett's replacement in Edmonton reminds me a lot of what happened with Keefe and Babs here in Toronto. It would have been interesting to see, had COVID not interrupted the season, we could have done a direct comparison. But I think a lot of the issues that you saw with Babs were the same issues with Tip. Kind of down. Like, if you've seen a Dave Tippett press conference, you know what I'm talking about. In a rigid system and quick decisions on players that aren't necessarily rooted in fact. You know what I mean? Like, Tip, to me, from what I saw from the line of decisions, he'd write you off immediately and you never got back in. Same with Babs. And look at what a new age guy like Woodcroft, and I call him new age because hockey's still very conservative, but new age guy like Woodcroft, who frankly developed a lot of these guys.
Yep.
Gets it, understands what their strengths are. And you know, I think there was a time in the NHL when you had coaches that said, I don't need to teach you anything. I just need to put the best lines on the ice, deploy them at the right time, and they don't perform, they're fucking out of the lineup. And I don't think that that's the case anymore.
They did one of the hardest things to do, which is change your attitude mid-season. The Calgary Flames had a horrible attitude last year, and they were never able to shake it. Remember, McDavid and Draisaitl and everyone going at it with the media, and everyone's just shitty. But there was that one glimmer of hope from Brendan Perlini. And a lot of people are sharing that because their records since Perlini's little speech, which it's funny that is the clip that they choose to highlight from that particular day. It's they're one of the best teams in the league since that speech. Look out, man. Mike Smith keeps this up. Look out. I'm just saying.
I have a couple more stats for you guys from our season predictions. 5 out of 5 of us, Steve, Adam, Jesse, Julian, and Andrew, had the Vegas Golden Knights in first place in the Pacific.
Dude, like, and why wouldn't we? We should have read more into everyone talks about the injuries. We should have read more into how shit they were against Montreal. They were so bad. They were ass.
It was the conference finals.
But they were ass.
But it was the conference finals.
They got to the conference final.
No, and maybe that's the problem,
We're supposed to be low on a team that got to the conference finals?
From after game 1 of that series, every moment I watched, I was like, this is one of the 4 best teams in the league. They were terrible. They were really
What does that
bad.
say about Montreal?
Well, I thought it said that they were world beaters, but no one was beating Tampa.
That you were about to say something.
I think
no, I like
Vegas,
what I was saying.
No, I think
I want to say what I was going to say.
I think with Vegas, you do have a lot of miles on those bodies, right? So if there was anything to read into it, was they've played a lot of games in the last 3 seasons.
Well, luckily they got a giant pool of prospects to. Oh, they got rid of all of them, almost all of them.
And I how many of those players are allowed to play together? Like Dodonov's gone.
I don't know. He's been really good.
They really needed Riley Smith down the stretch. They needed Stone healthy all season long. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a team.
Dare I say they could have used Alex Tuck?
They didn't have goaltending. Jack Eichel couldn't get there till late February, early March. I think it was when his debut was.
Something like that.
Injuries were just. It didn't help the team at all.
You know who had an unbelievable season?
The injuries might have been something that caught up with them because of all the miles that they put on their body.
Pacioretty was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Pacioretty was really good. Oh man!
You know who was not good, and we could have read into this?
Pete DeBoer.
Mark Stone.
Oh,
Mark Stone was really bad against the Habs. I wonder what happened in the playoffs last year.
He was. I'd love to know.
Last stat from our season predictions.
Okay.
If you guys want me to search for some more stuff, I can.
Oh, yeah.
The St. Louis Blues, 5 out of 5 of us had them missing the playoffs. We were so wrong on that.
Dude, they looked like they were on their way down, down, down. And that's another team, though, that has rebuilt with guys who they already had.
Yep.
Guys, Kyrou, Thomas.
God, Kyrou.
Tarasenko had a bounce back. Ville Husso was there the whole time.
Jordan Kyrou's probably my favorite non-Leaf right now.
Man, he's a great player.
He's just, like I said, he's a menace. He's always a pain in the ass.
Barbashev.
Yep.
Too, another,
and a great name.
If you had an all breakout season team in the NHL,
St. Louis,
half of them would be Blues.
Yeah.
Seriously, Kyrou there's some debate. You could say he was already there, but Robert Thomas I would put on there. Barbashev I would put on there. Uso I would put on there. Really, really good. Really, really good team.
Other stat from our predictions. Adam and I were the only 2 people to have Pittsburgh in a playoff spot.
Because I remember I was debating, and I was like, Pittsburgh. I can't bet against them. That's what I said.
I'd love to know exactly what I said because I'm pretty sure I was like, I'm probably making a mistake here, but whatever.
Steve and Andrew were the only people to have LA in a playoff spot, which was a risky pick.
Yeah.
Great job, guys.
Yeah.
The bottom teams is where we kind of nailed it.
Okay.
Everybody had Arizona in the bottom of the Central. Actually, let me triple check. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Everybody had Arizona in the bottom of the Central. We all had Buffalo and Detroit missing the playoffs. It seemed
really swung on that, eh?
Congrats to us for pointing the shotgun directly in the barrel.
One thing that we can take away from this, actually, all 3 of us had Detroit, Ottawa, and Buffalo missing the playoffs in the end.
Oh.
One thing we can take away from this is that we nailed the teams that are going to suck.
Hooray!
It's
I'm
easy
so
to do.
excited about that.
It's a lot harder to predict the teams that are good.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even that. Like, first off, the Florida pick for me, that of all the picks I can remember, the Florida Panthers at number 1 felt like the biggest risk. And the only reason I say that is because, I mean, they did get beat. It was a good series against Tampa.
Great series.
Really good, but like they did still lose.
Yes.
And so I was kind of like number one, Bobrovsky, like, is Spencer Knight ready? That's what I thought.
There's a lesson to be had here with Tampa when you look back, because who would you rather play in the first round? Look at who Tampa had to go through. It's awful. The first round, Florida. First round. And then who was it? Carolina?
Which is not fun.
That's awful too.
Yep.
Then the Islanders again. The Habs were their easiest series, no offense.
I don't think even Habs fans could debate that.
Where did the Columbus Blue Jackets finish in this regular season?
Let me see for you, sir. You mean like divisionally?
Yeah, give me that.
They were number 6 in the
division?
Metro.
And then
The
where's
record's
that
not that bad.
overall in the East in the conference?
Overall in the conference, the Columbus Blue Jackets sit at 10th.
10th,
Not bad.
okay.
No, the
so
record's fine.
5 out of 5 of us had the Columbus Blue Jackets finishing last in the Metro. We thought
Really?
nothing of Columbus going into the season.
Oh,
And I guess they outperformed expectations.
I think
If
they outperformed
They
everybody's.
finished 6th and 10th. That's not bad.
Yeah.
After the Islanders is Columbus.
And here's the thing: that Columbus, the thing they figured out is Patrick Laine.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Laine is playing like Patrick Laine again. They figured out how to use him, and I mean, do I see them taking a huge jump forward without some either major prospects coming up or and I don't know the prospect system off by heart, to be honest with you. But they're one of those teams that's always on the fringe. They're always 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. And like the Islanders, they're just a pain in the ass to play.
They're a pain in the
They're
ass.
not an easy out.
And worth mentioning, Pierre-Luc Dubois, 28 goals.
Yeah, I thought he was toast. I'm like, what is it?
It ended up being a trade that seemed to work out for both players.
Yeah, absolutely.
The last 5 out of 5, and then we can move on. Actually, the last 2 5 out of 5s, I'll group them together. The Pacific Division, all 5 of us had the bottom 2 the exact same. We had San Jose, and then we had Anaheim. How did they finish
San Jose.
in the regular season, Adam?
They finished San Jose, Anaheim in the conference 12 and 13.
Okay.
In their division, I would imagine last and laster. But I'll find. Hang on.
No, there is a team that we missed, Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, Arizona?
Nope.
No?
Oh, Seattle.
Yeah.
San Jose, Anaheim, Seattle. 6, 7, 8 in the
Wow.
division.
Okay. So, yeah, we both, everybody said that they would finish San Jose, Anaheim in that order. Second, last, and last. And we didn't get that right.
Okay.
There
Well,
you
so
go.
be it. So be it.
I feel like we were all cheering for the expansion remix.
Yep.
They had cool
know,
jerseys.
Yeah. Well, and like the one team with no baggage.
And everybody has that friend that was like, screw my team. I'm going to cheer for the Seattle Kraken. And I remember.
Do we have that friend?
Yeah, I do. TJ. I'm calling him out on this one. Jesse and I were like,
No.
he was like, yeah, he's like, if the Leafs lose in the first round this year, I'm done. And he even bought a Seattle Kraken t-shirt.
That's what I was about to say. He has a
Do
t-shirt.
you remember him coming in? He's like, I swear, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna stop being a Leaf fan. I got
Hi,
it.
TJ. I know you're listening.
Yeah, and obviously that didn't continue.
Hi, TJ, you're a dumbass.
I thought it was pretty funny.
What? Come on. It's not like the Leafs have ever disappointed you.
Also, what's funny is that a morning show host who has to go to bed at 9 p.m. picked a Western Conference team.
Okay, yeah, now he's a dumbass again.
Like, what are you going to watch the game?
That's a great. Maybe it's for stress.
And by the way, to give TJ full marks, he came right back to the Leafs as soon as the season started. It's not as though he started the season like, no, I'm still doing this. He was 100% like, okay, I'm definitely a Leaf fan, and I can't hide that.
Can we do one last exercise before we call it a week?
Are you sure? Okay, let's do it.
One game, winner take all for the Broadcasting Cup.
Oh.
It is Sportsnet's hockey panel and hockey analysts versus TSN's hockey panel and analysts.
Okay.
Who wins
Are they in their prime or is it now?
right now? Or do you want to do prime?
Can you
It's
give
up
me
to
the
you.
lineup? Can you give me the lineup?
All right. This is
Because they tweeted this, didn't they?
Kevin BX tweeted.
With the
Team
worst-
And
Sportsnet,
he's the only one who's allowed to do that. If
Worst
anybody
writing
else
in the
did that, they'd be in big trouble.
Team Sportsnet challenging Team TSN to a charity game. Good luck finding a third line with that kind of me. I have to go pull up the TSN line.
Couldn't
They
help
tweeted
but
a couple
notice
days ago.
there's a lot of players and no me.
Steve.
I know.
Steve.
I know. I'm joking.
Steve.
I'm
Steve,
joking. It's a
let's
joke.
be.
It's a joke. There's a joke.
Do you want to read it? Your coworkers.
There's a missed input. Does that say Botterill?
Yes, that is.
Oh
That is
dear,
Botterill.
Kevin. Okay,
But you are the last person who should be making fun of anybody's penmanship.
Yeah. I love
okay.
you.
So Boneriu,
Is that how he wrote it?
it's what it looks like.
Here, I
It
have
looks
it
like
up over here, Adam.
B-O, the pi sign, E-R-I-U.
Okay. All right. Bad.
The L's are next to each other and don't look alike. What the? Okay, Botterill, Armstrong,
Stewart.
So that's Jennifer Botterill, Colby Armstrong, Anthony Stewart. Craig Simpson, owner of the best career shooting percentage. Dave Amber, Doug McLean?
Ron McLean.
I'm an idiot.
We should. Steve.
Oh my god.
We should revoke.
Oh my god.
We should revoke your license to talk about hockey.
Oh, man. That was good. Oh, that was great.
You saw McLean and Sportsnet and thought about Doug McLean.
Oh, man. Oh.
I felt so good after our picks. Okay.
That's fantastic. That was so great. Oh.
So Jennifer
So not
Botterill, Colby Armstrong,
Doug
Anthony
McLean,
Stewart,
who's retired.
Craig Simpson, Dave Amber, not Doug McLean, PJ Stock, Jamal Mayers, and Louis DeBrusque. Holy shit. Ailish Forfar, Justin Bourne, Nick Kiprios.
Why did they put Kipper on the fourth line? Put him on the first line.
Damn.
Pretty
Yeah. You're disrespecting his OHL 40-goal season. How dare you?
And by the way, Kipper, like I saw Kipper last year in person. Kipper's in really good shape.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Like really,
Yeah, you saw him in person?
really
He grabbed
good.
me by the collar.
he's
On national
he
television.
Kipper jerseyed me on breakfast television.
Oh, that's right. That's right. While on
on
skates.
fake ice. He just grabbed me and jerseyed me.
All right, defense.
This is where I think
Run through this.
Sportsnet has the advantage. Jeff Merrick, Kevin Bieksa. That's just...
That's tough.
They're gonna slash you. They're gonna hook you. They're gonna use your spine as a friggin' drying rack. Ring. Gary Galley, Cassie Campbell Pascal,
Mm-hmm.
Elliot Friedman with
How's Elliot on ice?
Kyle, and he spells his name Kyle Baukauskis.
Bukaskis, but
That's how he spells it.
That's,
I think he's joking.
I know. And then Sean McKenzie with Carolyn Cameron. In net, Kelly Rudy, John Garrett. Okay. That's a nasty decor there. And Ailish Forfar, who has one more goal on Hockey DB than you. So you shut your face. We would always, man, in our very short-lived show, we would show her one CWHL goal all the time. What a piss missile.
If you want to give me 1 second, I'm going to pull up Team TSN.
That's my favorite way to describe a shot, a piss missile.
Piss missile. Love it. Good. Oh, Matthew's 60th goal? Piss missile. What a piss missile.
Oh my god.
All right. We have
Our-
Team TSN, on the
TSN,
board.
who made an actual graphic.
Yeah.
And did it in reverse order. Thanks, guys. Boo, go Rogers. Mike Johnson, Ray Ferraro, Jeff O'Neill. Man, there are some goals.
That's
Some
tough.
goals. Kevin Sawyer, Dave Poulin, Ryan Rashog. So that's the all cross-check line. Bob McKenzie, James Duthie, Darren Dreger, the sources say line. Lindsey Hamilton, 3 goals in 21 seconds. Chris Johnston,
Yeah.
on loan from SDPN. And Craig Button. And on their 5th line, they got the kids' table line of Corwin McCallum, Mark Masters and Jesse
You
Pollock.
don't get a fifth line.
No.
Bar down, you're scratched.
Bar down / Mark Masters.
The defense.
Well, that makes the defense very interesting.
The defense is like legitimately dangerous.
Yes.
They can play.
Like currently.
Like currently.
Yeah.
Frank Corrado, Carlo Koliakovo, Gerald Pounder, Renata Fox. This is an actually good hockey team. Not just broadcasters playing hockey.
Can I just say that they have Mark Mathot listed as their 6th or 7th defenseman?
7th. No, their 4th pair of Mathot LeBrun. No, you don't get it.
They don't get to play. No. We're scratching them.
What?
And their goalies.
So they're not going to play Mathot?
No, we're building a team, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
You don't
all
have
right.
3 pairs of defense.
And their goalies are Jamie McLennan, Martin Baron, and Kevin Weeks. You don't get no 3 goalies. What is this?
No, you get 2.
Kevin Weeks needs to announce his own cutting from this
And
team.
by the way, Kevin Weeks works for the NHL Network mostly, though, doesn't he?
This is cheating.
Scratch them. Okay, McLennan and Baron.
No, because TSN is using like partnerships.
Kevin Weeks is
they
up there
have,
with
and
his
I think
camera, and
that's
he's
cheating.
like, I've just been cut from my own TSN hockey team. Breaking news.
Kevin Weeks reporting Brendan Minnell has been traded and fuck you, Steve.
How good is Jeff O'Neill still? Can the O-Dog still
I bet
skate?
the O-Dog can... We're talking piss missiles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
a
that.
He's got
shot.
a rocket.
Oh, O-Dog, if they're on the power play, he's on the left wing, not moving a muscle.
Nope. Feed me the fucking puck.
Yo, power play specialist.
Yeah.
You just...
Stick in the air.
It's like, remember that from like NHL 2000? It would just sit there and
Yup.
play with somebody else?
Yup.
Yeah, and if the other team dumps it, you skate to you put 1 foot over the blue line.
Right.
And then when you come back in, you glide. He just...
I'm just imagining him yelling at Hayes
Oh,
to
man.
send him the puck on the power play.
Yeah, yelling because he won't bring his stick down to tap it.
Who are you taking? Adam, who you got? Steve, who you got? Do you want to
Sportsnet.
pull him up again?
I'm going to say TSN.
Fuck you think this is?
I think it's TSN. I honestly think with Biron and McLennan, you got a great starter and a great backup. You do. You got to start Mathot if for Team TSN. You have to start Mathot. You need Mathot in that lineup. Even though Mathot will probably yell something about Leaf fans just to get some engagement. But I think you got to have. Yeah, like that for like Mike Johnson, Ray Ferraro, Jeff O'Neill. Like, get out of here. Poulin was the captain of the Flyers.
Yeah.
Like I think. Listen, I'm double shifting the first and second line as much as I can because it falls off significantly.
Who has more?
Like Mackenzie, Duffy, Drager. The all insider line is going to be
Source of say line.
So the source of say line is going to stink. Lindsey Hamilton actually I think is a pretty good hockey player. So that's real. That'll surprise you on the
Jesse's
because I'm pretty sure Lindsey Hamilton's one of those people that's just good at every sport.
Jesse Pollock's not even the best member of Bar Down on this roster. Get out of here.
Let's all credit to Bob McKenzie and what he's done in his career as an insider.
Oh, we missed one. E-Bug. Gino
Retta. Yeah, no.
I think
That's hilarious.
Corwin should probably be in the lineup ahead of Bob McKenzie.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't know.
Bob should be the coach.
Yeah, how about that?
Shouldn't Bob be the coach? He's retired now.
Nah, the Sportsnet grinds this team down.
You're lying.
Elliot Friedman lures Chris Johnston in with friendship and takes him out at the knees.
You got
Hip check first
the
shift.
goalie is the game changer there.
Yeah,
you
Kelly
can't.
Rudy.
You will not score. You will not score.
Oh, you mean on TSN side?
No, Biron's going to shut the door.
Right.
Going to shut the door. You know that.
Nah.
Yeah.
Kelly Rudy is going to be polite, so polite that no one wants to beat him.
And be like, oh, Kelly, I love you.
The fourth line on Sportsnet is very good. Forfar, Bourne, and Kyprios.
Yeah.
That's a legitimately good hockey.
Yeah.
Forfar and Bourne just do the... That reminds me of when Matthews and Marner played with Matt Martin. Those two are just going to be able to do whatever they want, and Kyprios is just like,
See, this is where Sportsnet, like, no question, TSN's got the top two lines. But when you get into
what about the playoffs?
PJ Stock
Yep.
is a really, really good option, and then that fourth line's devastating.
Well,
you can't have TSN's fourth line out against the Sportsnet fourth line. You can't.
And Sportsnet's got a great player coach with Doug McLean. I'm such a fucking idiot. I can't.
You're never going to let that down.
That was great.
No, Ron McLean's going to be working the officials all night.
He should probably Robert King could still play. I was gonna say he should be the coach with
absolutely
McKenzie.
still play.
But yeah, the fourth you can't have a fourth pairing defenseman. So I think I would probably start McKenzie and Caroline Cameron over Friedman and Bukauskas.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm with you.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It's probably the nicest line in hockey is what we should call them: Sean McKenzie and Caroline Cameron.
Bukauskas can
the
TikTok.
cleanest line in hockey. Never
Sharp as
make
hell.
a dirty play.
All three of them sharp as hell.
Yeah.
There you go.
They are nice people too. God damn it, all of them.
Yeah, Sportsnet all the way.
No, you're lying.
Leaf legend.
I
Jamal
have to be
Mayers.
admit, I know the Sportsnet people better than I know the TSN people, just because TSN's in a different building, and we always kind of met and saw the Sportsnet people a lot more than Bell people see TSN people. TSN's in its own world. Like they're in Scarborough. They don't know we exist. They're doing their thing.
That second line's really good. Just pass it to Craig. Amber with his son is TikTok famous. That'll come into play somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Amber's son TikTok famous?
Yes, he is. I forget his username, but I follow him.
I want to check it out. Okay.
I thought it was his daughter.
No, it's his.
His,
who knows? Could
his
be both.
daughter did a TikTok recently about. Have you ever heard that sound where it's like, "Why fuck me?" The 50 Cent sound.
Oh yeah, what did you say? Fuck me for?
So somebody was like, "Fuck the Hockey Night in Canada" panel, and his daughter was in the car with him, and then she put that sound on him. She's like, "Why fuck me?" It was really. I was like, "Oh, that's just David Amber."
Yo, David Amber rules.
Yeah, and then all the comments were like, "No, not him, just everybody else."
No, these are good people. What the hell's going on here? Man, people are so mean.
Yeah, people being real dicks. It was funny.
When I think Justin Bourne, I think outrageous asshole.
Yeah. The one thing I can relate to, Justin Bourne wouldn't even remember who I am, but the one thing I can relate to with Justin is how sweaty he is. I do know that.
You're both so sweaty.
Very sweaty men, both of us. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm on then.
Nah.
Okay, listen, that was a fun one. So listen, we'll be back Monday. Playoffs, it looks like they start. Well, they definitely start Monday.
Apparently.
Looks like it'll be the Leafs Monday, too.
Yeah, versus Jesse.
Who will the Leafs play, Jesse?
The Tampa Bay Lightning versus Toronto Maple Leafs.
There it
next
is.
week, playoffs. Donuts on it. Bet it. Put it down.
Oh, he's saying it.
Put it on the table.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.